Hello everybody! Whee! This time we're making jam. And not just any jam. I was flipping through a canning book, and I found an Amaretto Peach Jam recipe. Yeah, we're going there. It's a simple jam recipe. You're gonna love it. It's super easy to make. And you make it boozy, so what can be better than that? As always, guys, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that like button for me so I know you love the video, guys. Alright, here it goes. Okay, so like I said, this is a super easy recipe. You're going to use peaches. I got really excited because peaches were on sale at the store, so I bought, I think, about 10 pounds of peaches. I'm scalding the peaches, okay? So what you do, it doesn't necessarily need to be boiling water, just near boiling water. Put them in there for 30-ish seconds to a minute. Doesn't have to be very long. And then right into an ice bath, so water with ice in it. And what it does is it basically makes the skin fall off. Ta-da! I'm going to tell you right now, there is absolutely no good way to peel a peach and it not slide everywhere. So, yeah. Basically, these are supposed to be freestone. Relatively speaking, they are. The one half comes off really easy. Then I kind of had to like yank and pull the other half off. But that, you know, that's okay. That's the way it works. Yeah. Not easy. But once you get it kind of peeled. So the hardest thing really was to figure out how I was going to get these things processed down to the kind of pulpish level. I was still debating about it when I started working, so I literally am going to end up throwing this together. It's going to be pretty entertaining, but the method I figured out actually worked rather well, so that's good. Peaches are so sticky. They literally go everywhere. So what I'm going to be using is actually a KitchenAid attachment, not a Pampered Chef. I know. So this is an attachment that comes with this guy, the immersion blender. So the immersion blender for KitchenAid is a bunch of different things all hooked together. This is actually the food processor. So yeah, it's a little tiny food processor that charges with the immersion blender and it just pulverizes it. Fabulous. But yeah. So basically, this thing, because of the size of peaches that I'm using, I can get about 2 peaches in it to process at once. So I'm going to save you guys from watching me process 10 pounds of peaches like this. It's pretty much the same method. Took me about 45 minutes to process all the peaches. I did them in sets of 4 just because that was what I was able to manage. But other than that, it's pretty, yeah. There's nothing too exciting about it. There's the end, or relatively close to the end. My little thing can hold about 8 cups of peaches. I did 8 quarts. 8 quarts? 8 cups. 8 cups. 2 quarts, I think. I don't know. Anyway. There it is, all the peaches in a bowl. I ended up having to get one of my big bowls out. Not really a good angle. You really can't see the lining on it, but that's okay. So I did have to get out the BAP because, yeah, lots of peaches. Like I said, super easy jam recipe. It is a 1-to-1 recipe. What that means is that for every cup of fruit, there is a cup of sugar. This is a no pectin recipe. It literally is 3 ingredients. It's the peaches, the sugar, and then we'll be adding the amaretto at the end. So you just kind of got to get it all mixed in. At the beginning, it's going to be really cloudy still. It's not going to clear up very well. But as it starts to cook and cook down, it's going to thicken and it's going to clear up, which is kind of awesome. But it takes a while because it's got to boil. All right, so this is about 10 minutes in. See how it's kind of clearing up? It is still not boiling. Like I said, it's a lot. It takes a lot to get it to boil. I think this was on the stove for around an hour and a half. We're starting to foam a little bit, but not much. But yeah, about an hour and a half, I think the total time on the stove is, or was, not is. It's not on the stove anymore. What am I saying? I don't even know. All right, there's the boil. So all that foam happens. Yes, before anybody says anything, that is, I know, the absolute dumbest way to do this. I ended up getting a ladle out to get it off, but you need to get rid of all that foam. That foam is not good. It's all the impurities and all the grossness. So all that needs to come out to make your jam as good as you can make it, basically. All right, so do you see the difference and actually how much lower it is? See how it's cleared up, it's thickened up, it's boiling, but it's kind of having a harder time boiling. That's kind of where you want it to be, which is good. The thing about jam is it never looks as thick as it actually is, because when it's hot, it's liquidy. So that's why once it's finally done, you have to test it, which is what I'm going to do in a second. Okay. So see how much, so what you do is I put both those things in the freezer, get them cold. If you slide it and the line doesn't come back, then you're good. See, there's the ladle. I told you I got the ladle out. Now we're going to put the amaretto in. So for this recipe, for every 4 cups of peaches, you are going to put a half a cup of amaretto. And that is actually, I was doing some research, is pretty much how all boozy jam recipes are. For every 4 cups of fruit, you use a half a cup of the booze of whatever you're using. So that's it. That is the entire recipe. You put it in right at the end, and then you jar it, which is fabulous. That was me trying it because I was curious. It smells very amaretto-y, which is awesome. Tastes good too. Okay, so I'm using little 8-ounce jars. There's Mr. Gabe, making sure everything's going well. 8-ounce jars, basically because who really needs more jam than that? And this is obviously me pretty much working on my own. I think Brandon was getting ready to leave, so I pretty much did it on my own. This is how I do it. I basically just line everything up, fill everything up, and kind of keep moving on, keeping on, basically. Okay, so processing jam is pretty easy. Because of the size of them, it is a 10-minute process, and then they're done. So I had my two water baths going. I ended up making a total of 24 8-ounce jars, and then I had 3 12-ounce jars I had to pull out because I just had that much more jam I needed to put in something. But other than that, it's the same process you guys have seen over and over again. There's all the rest of the jam and the big old 12-ounce jars. So you're going to see me fighting with figuring out how to do this so that all of the things are kind of even. But yeah, 10 minutes from boil, and then I usually let them sit for a couple minutes before I pull them out. Simple as that. So yeah, there's the last batch coming out of the water bath. And you guys, this stuff is thebomb.com. I mean, seriously, it is so good. And it was so easy to make. Like, all jam is really easy to make, especially if you don't add pectin or anything into it. But anyway, even if you don't like amaretto, you could do like a blackberry bourbon or whatever. But seriously, guys, peach amaretto jam, yeah, this stuff's phenomenal. So that's all I got for you today. Remember to hit that like button. See you later.